Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and today's video I'm going to be talking about all the specialists in Black Ops 3. So the specialist is basically a new thing to Black Ops 3, and I thought that I need to do a full video to cover each single specialist and in what situation you're going to want to use them, because basically the specialist is always going to be debatable to what the best specialist is. So I wanted to make a full video basically talking about every single one in the game and talking about the situation where you'd want to use each one, because the specialist is something that can be confusing. I know some players just leave on the gravity spikes, don't change it. Some people just leave on the vision pulse and never change it throughout the prestige, but there is a bunch of good ones that you unlock at different levels, and I want to talk about them. So I'll throw the picture up of the guy. So each person has two specialist abilities, usually a specialist weapon and an ability. So I'm going to be throwing up a picture of the person, and then I'll be talking about both their abilities and when their abilities are going to be good to be used. So hopefully if you guys will enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate if you guys could leave me some feedback. If you guys could leave a rating on this video, a like or a dislike, whatever you guys think the video deserves. And also be sure to subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. So, we're going to be going through and talking about all these specialist people. So the first person that we have here is the Ruin, and this is the first guy that you get. You can get him at level 1, and what the Ruin is basically he has two abilities. So the first one is going to be the Gravity Spike. Now, what the Gravity Spike is, I'm sure everyone knows what it is. There's a lot of people use it. It's a basic one. The gravity spike, when you slam it into the ground, it basically causes an explosion. So if you're up in the air, you can double tap your bumpers, slam down. If you're on the ground, you can do it, and he'll just jump up and slam them down right away. Now this specialist is fairly good because it charges very fast. Now every single specialist in the game charges at a different rate. I don't know the exact rates, but I played with pretty much all of them, and I can give you guys my opinion on them. I'm sure someone has tested them out, but every single specialist in the game charges at a different rate. Usually the weapons will charge a bit longer than the abilities, but sometimes like the gravity spike, is that technically considered a weapon or an ability? It's kind of in between. So I mean, technically it is a weapon, I guess you could say, but it's not like one that you whip out and get multiple kills with it. It's a one-time use. So the gravity spikes, I'd say, is good for a situation like if you're playing on Nuketown 24/7, where you're going to want to slam down and get quad feeds. This thing is only good on these small maps, and this thing is definitely very good in game modes where the enemies are going to be cluttered up. In game modes where you want enemies to be cluttered up, such as domination, hardpoint, game modes like that maybe are very good. Safeguard as well, because you can slam down on the robot and actually does damage to the robot. That's where you're going to want to use the gravity spikes, and that's where it's going to be very powerful. Once again, this one is sort of a one-time thing, and it does charge up pretty fast. The next one that he has is the Overdrive ability, which basically enables a temporary burst of speed, extremely useful for objective running since it can be triggered when you need it the most. So the Overdrive ability is very strong, and it makes you run very fast. Now where I'd recommend this one is basically for something where you need to get across the map very quickly, such as Search and Destroy. And Search and Destroy, having the Overdrive is one of the fastest charging ones in the game as well, because this is the basic guy. This is the guy you get at level 1, the Ruin, and his things always charge up really fast. The Overdrive, I'd say, is pretty much only useful in Search and Destroy. I mean, you could, or if you're if you're going knife only or something like that, the Overdrive would be the one to use. It can also be useful on a shotgun if you need to get across an open area very quickly. You pop that Overdrive and get across there and shoot everyone. That can be very useful on a shotgun as well. Now, the next person we have is the Outrider, and the Outrider is the lady with basically the bow and arrow. Her first ability is the weapon. It's the Sparrow. It's a bow that fires explosive bolts. Each bolt does more damage the longer the bow is drawn. So basically, the Sparrow is basically the bow and arrow thing. It can be kind of hard to hit your shots. It's kind of like the explosive crossbow tip we had back in BO2, because you don't need to hit them directly on. It will explode, but this thing is kind of hard to use, and I really don't recommend it at all unless you're very good with it. If you're a sniper, if you're a quickscoper, and you're very good with hitting your shots, then the Sparrow can be super fun to use, but I think that the Annihilator pistol just outclasses the Sparrow in pretty much every way, and that's what I really don't think the Sparrow is the most useful, unless you are going for montage clips, having fun. Of course, it's going to be fun to shoot people with the bow and arrow. Now, the next ability on the Outrider is the Vision Pulse. Sonic ping that reveals nearby enemies as red targets can be used to nail targets through walls if your weapon has the penetration power for it. So it's really good. Basically, this one gives you a Oracle sort of hater for about 5 seconds, I'd say, whenever you pop it, and it does charge up pretty fast. I'd say that this Vision Pulse ability is one of the best in the game, especially at the early levels. So at level 1, you get to choose between basically the Ruin or the Outrider, I think it is, and then you might get the Prophet as well. But the Vision Pulse is definitely the one you want to start off each prestige with. This thing is very good. You can pop it when you're up in their spawn. You get into that nice area, you pop it, and it shows every single person. It shows their location, and it really gives you that temporary visa. It lets you know you're safe. So if ever you're feeling like, I feel like someone's coming up on me, I don't really know, you just pop that. It'll give you perfect vision. I think the Vision Pulse is one of the best in the game, and it's always going to be there. It's basically good on any sort of class. It's a standard good one. Now, the next person we have is the Prophet, and the Prophet has 2 abilities, of course, like every single one. He has the Tempest. What the Tempest is it's basically an electronic shooting gun. It takes a second to charge up before each bullet fires, but this thing, when you hit a guy with it, it will shock his body. It'll he'll start having like a seizure, getting shocked, and then if anyone walks near him, they will get shocked as well. So this thing is also very good for game modes and maps where people are going to be very clumped up, such as Nuketown, such as Hardpoint, Safeguard. This thing is crazy good in Safeguard. If you hit one person on the robot, it's going to spread the shock and hit everyone. If you shoot in a hard point, it's very good, and I recommend this thing for maps that are close situation as well. The thing with this though is it's very not good at close range, as it takes a second to charge up, and that second it takes to charge up, the enemies can easily take you out. But it definitely is a good weapon, and it definitely is a lot of fun to use where enemies are going to be clumped up, where you can get them in a spawn trap. You can easily get quad feeds with it, and it's absolutely crazy. Now, his next ability is the glitch ability. I talked about this one a little bit in my best class setup video on how to get nuclears and 100 pluses. The glitch ability is very good. It basically takes you back a few seconds. Now, something that kind of is wrong with it, or doesn't really make sense, if it takes you back a few seconds, but you're still damaged from the damage that you just got, which really, if you're rewinding time, shouldn't you get the damage taken off of you? But I think that would make it a bit overpowered, and that's why they did this. The glitch ability does take you back, and what I'd recommend using this is for a situation such as search and destroy, something where you only have one life, where your life really matters. It would be key for glitch, especially if you're a bomb carrier and they're coming at you. You can glitch back. The other situation I like to use it in is going for nuclears. If I get into a tough situations when I'm rushing, I like to rush in this game, but this game doesn't really favor rushers that much. So if I'm rushing, I can always just glitch back out, and hopefully it will save me. Hopefully I'll glitch back to a safe spot that I was 3 seconds ago, or something like that. So that'd be pretty cool. Now, the next lady that we have is the Battery, and the Battery, the War Machine. The Battery has the War Machine. Now, the War Machine is a kill streak from BO2. You're basically getting a kill streak for free. This one, extremely powerful in hardpoint. You just shoot in the hardpoint, the bullets spread, bam, bam, bam. You easy triple or quad pretty much every time in hardpoint on Nuketown or on Combine or something like that. Pretty much any map on hardpoint is when you want to use the War Machine. Very good and a very strong choice. And our next ability is the Kinetic Armor. And what the Kinetic Armor is it basically gives you like a ballistic vest for a few seconds. I think it about doubles your health, and it's pretty good. It charges up pretty fast. But headshots and explosive damage, it does not guard you against. So if they shoot you in the head, you're going to die. If you get hit by a nade, you're still going to die. Kinetic Armor can be good. It's probably good in those game modes where your life really matters, such as Search and Destroy. You could use it to go for high kill gameplays, but I think there's a lot better choices than this, to be honest, even though the Kinetic Armor is a good choice in probably Search and Destroy, I'd say. Next, we have the Seraph, and her ability is the Annihilator Pistol. This thing is crazy. It's a one-hit, anywhere at any range pistol, and it's absolutely crazy. Super fun to use, and this thing is amazingly fun if you're going for clips and stuff with it. Definitely give the Annihilator Pistol a go. The only thing that's bad about it is if you miss your shot, you're gonna die. It's kind of like a shotgun at all ranges. Obviously, it's super powerful, but you gotta have good accuracy. You gotta make sure you take your time with your shots. I actually got some nasty feeds with this thing in the beta. I was getting freaking like quad feeds and stuff like that. Now, the next ability that she has is the Combat Focus ability, and the Combat Focus is one that I recommend. I say it's one of the best in the game, because when you pop it, it doesn't take too long to charge up, and they haven't nerfed this one at all since the game came out. The only one they've nerfed is the Scythe, on the Reaper. But the Combat Focus, you just pop it, bada bing, bada boom. You start getting kills, you start getting assists, and you're gonna get each assist that's worth 25. You're gonna get freaking 75 for. A kill that's worth 100. You're gonna get 150 for. A cap worth 200. You're gonna get 300 for. And you pop this thing, you get a few kills, and you're gonna be up to your streaks in no time. And the streaks in this game aren't the strongest, so you need any help you can get with the kill streaks. Now, the next guy is the Nomad. This guy was very powerful back in the beta for the simple fact that his ability, which is Reject, was super overpowered, because it would keep your streak, keep your score streak, everything like that. Reject now is pretty useless, except in Search and Destroy, where you can make some plays, get your teammates to save your ass. Basically, Reject now, it still gives you a death on the scoreboard. It still resets your streak. It still resets your nuclear streak, your score streaks. It's basically useless. It's basically just a tactical insert. It can be nice to outplay some kids and laugh at them, but it's mainly just used for Search and Destroy. And his weapon, the Hive, is pretty good as well. It's sort of like a good weapon if you're sitting back or if you're kind of camping, because with the Hive, you basically shoot it and it sets up little traps for people with beehives, a swarm of nanodromes, and whenever they walk over, it instantly eliminates them. This was very powerful at the start of the game, because even me, a lot of people like didn't know what this was, and we would just walk into it. But now I think people are starting to figure it out. But if you do get a lobby of noobs, I don't think the noobs will really know all about the hive, and you can take advantage of them with that. Now the next one is the Reaper. Sorry, this guy is super strong. He has the scythe, which is basically comes out the quad barrel minigun with 200 rounds on your arm. Absolutely crazy, absolutely super powerful at what the scythe is, and that thing is deadly, bro. That thing, they've nerfed it to make it longer to charge up, but it's still super deadly, and the scythe is one of the most powerful specialists in the game. It counts towards your nuclear streak. You get 125 points per kill with it when you're going for your score streaks. It's crazy good. And his ability is the Psychosis. This thing is also good as well. It basically makes 3 clones of you, and basically they will run around on their own and distract people. This one can be very good for rushing, as you can usually pop it when you're running into their spawn and get like a double or a triple kill if you play it smart. You kind of have to blend in with the drones and try to, you know, fake them out. It's also very good for search and destroy in 1v1 type of situations. It basically turns a 1v1 into a 4v1, and the enemy has to be smart to take you out. The next guy is the Spectre. Now this guy is very good. This guy is very underrated, I think. His Ripper, which is basically a superpower knife that gives you like a lunge on the first knife, and then it gives you a super one-hit kill knife for about 15 or 20 seconds. I think this is very good, especially if you're a knife-only player. Obviously, you're going to use the Ripper. If you're a shotgun player, also, this is very good, because if you miss your shot with the shotgun, you can just, bam, slide into them with the Ripper. I've gotten some nice kills. I actually had like a 7-man that got split, which was unfortunate on Nuketown, but the Ripper has been deadly, and it's been good to me. And the next one is Active Camo. It basically just makes you completely invisible, and it's not like the Advanced Warfare invisibility. This invisibility is super strong. This one, it's kind of, I don't know when you really want to use this. It's kind of just something that can be fun to use in a 1v1 situation, but it's really not the best for multiplayer. The next guy we have is the last guy. He's the Fire Break. This is a guy you get at level 40 something. He has the Purifier, which is the Flamethrower. Now the Flamethrower is really cool, because the Flamethrower, all you have to do is hit them with one little poof and they're gonna die, but they don't die instantly. That's how they basically balance it, is they don't die instantly. If you poof them with the Flamethrower, you're gonna have to wait for them to die, and usually when you hit them with that, you need to start running away, because they can kill you before they burn out, basically. And his next ability is the Heat Wave. This one is very good as well. It's for rushing. It's basically, if you want to go for headshots, this is the thing you want to use. If you're using a shotgun as well, this could be good. Basically, you pop it whenever you're right beside, and all the enemies in the room with you, all the enemies right beside you, will get a super stun, and it's pretty cool. That thing I think is very powerful. But the best ones in the game, I gotta say, Combat Focus, Vision Pulse, the Scythe. What else is there? Those are probably the best ones in the game. The Annihilator is also very good as well as the Glitch, the Tempest. So those ones that I just mentioned there are probably the best in the game. Basically, each specialist has its own situation where it's going to be good in, as I talked about in this video. Hopefully you guys will understand that, and let me know in the comment section below what your favorite one is. If you guys made it to the end of the video, please comment glitch down in the comment section below. I'd really appreciate that. I did not expect this video to be this long. I always do this, man. I just go off. I love this game, man. I'm so passionate about it. I just end up going off about it. So comment glitch if you made it to the end of the video. You're a true supporter. Leave a like on this thing. Leave a rating if you guys made it to the end. I'd really appreciate a like rating. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. And there it is. Everything you need to know about the specialists in BO3 from my experience. I've used them all. And those are my opinions. Thank you guys. You guys may disagree with me as well. It's totally cool. These are just my opinions. I want to get you guys using the best specialists. You guys can get those streaks. You guys can level up fast and stuff like that. The specialist is new to BO3, so we're still trying to figure it out, and we'll see what happens in the future with it, and which, you know, they're still going to be tweaking them and stuff like that. It's only a month in. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Subscribe if you're new, and I'm out. Peace.